Hello friends, I am Ammi Kapadia from Aminity Classes, and this is the first video to introduce the MVC framework in .NET Core. Okay, so we know that MVC is a framework and its full form is Model View Controller. Okay, till now we just know this much only. Okay, so now what this MVC framework does into the .NET framework, that I will explain to you. Okay, first of all, MVC framework will divide our entire project into three sections. Okay, first is model, view and controller. Okay, now what is model, what is view and what is controller? So first model. Okay, we are talking about model. So model contains all the core functionalities in server-side language like C#.NET or VB.NET. Got it? Means core functionality means, for example, if you want to insert a record into the user table. Okay, so what will be the core functionality? You will write into the C# code. That is, first you will create the object for connection, then connection open, then you will make a query for insertion, then the query execute that query. Okay, so all these things are the core logic to insert a record into the user table. Okay, so all these things will be the part of the model. Okay, so and for another example, if you want to sending a mail, right, you want to send a mail to someone. Okay, so the core, that functionality will be the part of the model. Okay, then controller. Controller is the intermediate thing between model and view. So what is the view? View is the UI thing, user interface thing. Whatever you want to show to the user will be the part of the view. For example, it contains HTML, CSS, then JavaScript. All these things will be the part of the view. Okay, now controller. I just told you that controller is the intermediate thing, right? But what it does, for example, there is a button on the view. Okay, button to insert a record. Okay, so view will contain the HTML code with the button. Okay, model will have the code to insert the record into the database. Okay, now what will be the code in controller? Okay, so controller will connect view to the model. So whenever you are clicking on the button, okay, it will call the method of the controller. Okay, and in that method of the controller, you will call the method to insert a record into the database from the model. Okay, model has one method to insert a record into the database. Okay, that method will be called from controller, and controller method will be called from view. Got it? Means view will call controller method will call model method. Okay, and model will return something to controller, and controller will load our view. So this is entire MVC framework. Okay, so now we are starting with our first demo with .NET. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio. I am creating a new project. I am using the C# language and I am creating a web application, right? So here you can see MVC 4 web application. 4 is the version of the MVC framework, right? MVC 4 web application. Here I am giving it a name, demo 1. Okay, here select a template, empty basic internet application. Here I am selecting the basic. Okay, it will have a basic template, and here view engine, I am using ASPX view engine. There is another option, Razor, but I am not using Razor. I am using ASPX view engine. Okay, and then okay, so it will create a project in MVC for me, and the version of MVC is MVC 4. Okay, so our project is ready now. The name of our project is demo 1, and you can see main three folders here. One is view, another is controllers, and another is model. Okay, so in every MVC project there will be three folders. Okay, why? Because our code is divided into three main sections, that is view, model and controller. Okay, so controller, model and view. Okay, so first I will demonstrate you one simple application to display a list. Okay, that display the list of a user. So for that I am creating one class into the models. Add class, and I am giving the class name user. Okay, add. Okay, so you can see the namespace is demo1.models, and in this namespace we have created a class that is users. Okay, I am creating a list here, list of string, and I am giving it a name LST. Okay, and I am giving it the private access to this LST variable. Okay, now I am creating a constructor. Okay, for revision I am just revising you about the constructor. Constructor is the method with the name of the class. Okay, and it does not return anything. Okay, so in every method we have here, we are writing one returning data type, right? But in constructor it will not return anything. It is the name of the class name, and in parameter we can send something. Okay, but I am making a default constructor without any parameter, and constructor will be called whenever we are creating the object of the users class. Okay, it will be called automatically. We don't have to call it manually. We cannot write like a user object dot users, like we don't have to write it. It will be called automatically whenever we are creating the object of the class users. Okay, here I am initiating this LST. It is currently null now, right? So we have to initiate it using new keyword. And in this list of string, I am adding some names of users. Okay, so using the add method lst.add, I am adding few names. Okay, so I have added 1, 2, 3 and 4 names into the LST. Okay, now this LST is private, so I cannot use directly this LST into some other class. Okay, so for that I am creating one method in public scope. Public, it will return the list of strings, and its name is get data or get users. Whatever you want to write, you can write here, get users. Okay, it will just simply returning the LST. Okay, so this is our model class that has name users, and it has namespace demo1.models. So we can say that this user class is basically the demo1.models.users. Okay, so this is our model that is ready. I have just added 4 names to the LST user. Now controller, I will add one controller in controllers folder. For that I am doing add controller. Okay, we don't have to add class, we have to add controller here. Okay, here we have to give the name of the controller, that is user controller, and controller name will be having controller at the last, and before controller you can give any name to your controller like user or teacher or student or XYZ, anything. Okay, and this is empty MVC controller. Add. So here we have created one class, that is user controller, that inherits the class controller of MVC framework. Okay. Okay. Now can you see there is a action result index here. Okay. I am just changing the name of index to home. Okay. Okay, now what this method will do here is, okay, so we have created one user controller, and in that user controller we have called a home action result method. Okay, so basically what this do is, whenever we will write something like localhost, then something slash user slash home, so it will be redirected to this method. Okay, here not user controller, only user. Yeah, localhost, then suppose here 3131, then user and home. So first it will check the user, means it will check whether there is a user controller present or not. Okay, this first portion of URL indicates the name of the controller. Okay, but without controller, means user controller, so it will check user only. Okay, so if this user and this user match, then it will go to the user controller, inside the user controller. Then home, it will check the action result method. If there is a home method present in the user controller, then it will go to the user controller's home method. Okay, if here I will write index, it will say that there is no method called index in this controller. Okay, for that you have to create one more method here. So whenever I will write localhost, then user and home, it will go to the user controller, and the method is home method. Okay, and we have to create one more view, okay, for this home method. So in views, okay, now we are creating one view for user module, okay, user controller module. So here first of all we have to create one folder that has the name of the controller, that is user, which we don't have to write the controller. Okay, controller portion we have to omit, and we just have to write the user. This name and controller's name should be same. Okay, now in this user I am creating one view, and the view's name and this method's name should be same. The method's name is home, so our view's name will be home. Here I am creating home view, okay, in ASPX C#, and we are not using any master page concept right now, so I am just omitting it and add. Okay, so they have created one view for us. Okay, here I am just writing one paragraph, that hello from home page. Okay, that's it. Okay, I am running this much portion. Okay, resource cannot be found. Why? Because we have not created any default page. Okay, so now we want to load our home page. So I am going into the solution explorer. Okay, we want to load this home page, right? So for that we have to write user/home. Here, user/home, and enter. So what it will be doing is, first it will go to the user controller, okay, user controller, and then it will find the home method. Okay, so I am putting one this mark here. This is the debug point, and it is used to debugging, like your execution is coming here or not. If you want to check that, you can use this debug point. Okay, so whenever I will load this user/home page, it will go to the user controller and home method. Okay, so let's just try again. Right, so our execution just stopped here, and we can continue it using continue, and it is loading the view, that is home view, home.aspx view. Here I have written hello from home page. Okay, that is loaded. Okay, so till now we have just learned that how to make a view, how to make a model, and how to make a controller, and how we can just bind it. Okay, how we can just bind a view with its controller. How we can bind it? Like, we have to name the controller properly, that is user controller. Okay, for creating a view for user controller, we have to create one folder, that is user. Inside the views folder, and inside this users folder, we have to create one view, that is home.aspx. This name and the method's name should be same. Okay, this name and this name should be same. Okay, our next step is, instead of this hello from home page, I want here a list of users. Okay, I want here a list of users, so I am just changing its heading. H1 list of users. Okay, and here I will write some code later. Okay, so fetching the user list from model, we have to make a object of this class into controller. Okay, so here I will make stopping the execution. Here I will make the object of model class. Okay, so what is the class of the model? What is the name of the class? That is users. This users.cs. So I am creating here users obj. It is not finding the users. Okay, so what I can do is, using the help, I am U is capital users. Okay, using this help, I can using demo1.models. Can you see here? Using means we are just importing demo1.models here. First line. Using demo1.models. Okay, it will import the models, all the classes present into the demo1.models. Okay, now is equals to new users. Okay, so what this line will do? It will go to this class and it will call its constructor. This is the constructor of the class. It will automatically call this constructor and it will initiate this list with 4 names. Okay. Okay, so our list is ready inside this users object obj. Now what we have to do? We have to call this method. Why? Because this list is private, right? So we cannot directly write here that obj.lst. No, it is not there. Right? Why? Because lst is private here. So what we have to do? We have to call this method get users. It is just simply returning the lst. This is the data abstraction concept, right, of OOP, object oriented programming. Okay, now here I will call the method that is get users and it will give me the entire list. Okay, so here list of string data, I am giving it name data, is equals to obj.getUsers. So it will load this lst to this data. Okay, now another new topic, that is viewback. Okay, now I want to use this data into my view here, home.aspx page. Okay, I want to use that here. So I have one option that is called view bag. Okay, there is a one bag called view bag in the controller. Okay, so whatever we want to use into the view section, we can put it in the view bag. Okay, I currently I am using this data into the view, so I will put this data into the view bag, then only it will be available in our home.aspx. Otherwise, if you will directly write here data, it will give you the error. Okay, so whatever we want to use into our view, we have to put it into the view bag. So I am writing here view bag dot data is equals to data. Here you can give any name like viewbag dot users, anything. Okay, I am just giving it name data. Okay, now it is available here. Why? Because we have put it into the view bag. Okay, so here we have to make a loop. Okay, loop on the data that we have added into the view bag, right? So for the loop we have to write the code in C#.NET. So for that we have to use this sign. Okay, and here I am using for each loop, and then I am giving the name of each object as obj and collection, that is the viewbag.data collection, viewbag.data. Okay, and here what I have to, okay, I am just completing this tag here, so I can use another HTML tag here. Okay, here I am using paragraph tag, and here what I have to do is I have to write the obj's value. Okay, obj is what is obj? Obj is each and every value from list, like Ami, Anand, Rishi and Hershey. So I just have to print that. So what I will write is response dot write and here obj. That's it. Okay, so here is one section of C#.NET, here is another section of C#.NET, and here is third section of C#.NET. In between I have used the paragraph tag of HTML. So HTML should be out of the C# box. Okay, now let's try it. Our URL is user home. Okay, so here we get all the list of 4 names. Okay, so I am just showing you all the 3 pages. This is our home.aspx final view. This is our final controller, and this is our final model. Okay. Okay, I hope you are clear till now. Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye.